Hey everyone, my name's Amanda. I'm an intuitive card reader and I'm here to give you a little new moon in Libra reading. Now keep in mind this is a collective reading, so take the messages that resonate for you and leave the rest. If it's not really resonating, it's probably for somebody else watching and not for you. I've just been really vibing with my Tarot of the Vampires deck. There's like a part of me that just like loves vampires. So we're gonna use that to get initial messages. Now Libra is all about balance, right? It's that sign of the scales. So I want to ask today, I'm gonna ask for like some overall messages, and then I'm going to ask for some advice in how to, where in our love life do we need greater balance. I'm gonna ask where in our career do we need greater balance, because those are two like big areas of life. So and love life, if love life isn't relevant for you, like we can say just relationships in general. That's what we'll look into. I felt like being on camera today and showing you my face. I had a gig today, so I was fancy. So first card that's coming out is 10 of Grails, which is awesome as an overall message. Cool. And I just shuffle till something comes out. I like to shuffle on camera every now and then just so people see I don't manipulate the messages. Boop. Okay. We'll just like take all of that because that felt well. Okay. Let's see. That's like a lot, so we're gonna get something else. Okay, so I'm pulling overall, and now I'm going into what we need for how can we better balance our relationships or love life. Okay. And how can we better balance our career or advice in the career sector. This new moon feels really good. It feels like we're being offered kind of a new jump start to things. So a new wave of energy is coming in. Good time to take advantage of that. Okay. I'm gonna just get one more here. Okay. That's good. They gave me two more. Yeah, they have their own ideas. Okay, put that aside, and I'm gonna get a few clarifiers as well so we can get a better sense of what's going on. I felt like doing a little bit of a maybe longer video and interpretation today. I have been doing shorter like Instagram live videos, but I don't know, I felt like going a little deeper into it today, so I hope that you all enjoy. Okay, that's good, and I'm gonna get, I'm one of those tarot readers who, and oracle, I use oracle cards too, but I'm one of those readers who likes to just pull a million cards because I feel like they tell such a story, and when you use multiple decks you get really interesting combinations of messages. So I know people, I read for people and it looks like a total jumbled mess, but I promise it makes sense. And usually you get kind of mirroring messages from different decks in really interesting ways, so I like the combination of a lot of different ones. I'm going to say the decks I'm using today, are the Tarot of the Vampires by Ian Daniels. I'm using the Psychic Tarot of the Heart by John Holland, Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor, and I'm gonna pull a little message from the Notes from the Universe deck by Mike Dooley, as well as the Tarot of the Heart Tarot by Maria Di Stefano. Okay, so in case anybody is like loving the decks that I'm using and wants to purchase them or get them into their own library, that's what I'm doing now. So some people might be bored by watching me shuffle. And if that's true, you can just like skip forward to when I'm not shuffling anymore. Maybe that's it. Okay. And we'll just get one more from this deck. This Heart Tarot is a really interesting deck. This Heart Tarot is it's just like really, it's a really interesting deck. It's kind of hard to shuffle because they're shaped like hearts and then they all drop out of your hands. So I don't use it a lot, but when I do, it's kind of awesome. Okay. Cool. So I lied. I'm gonna pull one more. Yeah, so I don't know about y'all, but I'm pretty excited that it's getting to be October. I really enjoy the fall. I enjoy the fall, and I enjoy like Halloween-y kind of season. Hence the Vampire Tarot deck. Okay. Cool, so let's get started. This is awesome. So the first round of messages I got, this is just like overall what we need to know for this new moon in Libra, this upcoming cycle. First things I pulled were 10 of Grails and 7 of Grails. So that's really interesting. The 10 of Cups, which is what this is in the traditional tarot, that's a card that's all about basically complete emotional fulfillment. So the happy family, whatever your dream life looks like and feels like, that's the 10 of Cups. So you can see in this deck, like, this is like an incredibly satisfied woman. She is just drinking from her cup and feeling full. She enjoys herself like that. This definitely seems like somebody who is contented. So that's really awesome. And I see all these roses around her, so it's like she's having the opportunity to bloom in her circumstance. So that's awesome to get as the overall like message, you know, that our wants and dreams and desires are absolutely possible and coming for us right now. But that what the 7 of Cups is saying to me, 7 of Cups is about a choice. So that's like looking at a lot of different options, and maybe there are a lot of good options. You know, it doesn't have to be choosing between bad and good, or if those terms are even relevant. You know, like everything is every choice we have is a possible path, and it's not really right or wrong. But I think right now, in order to get to this, you know, complete satisfaction, pleasure, joy, emotional fulfillment, our choices are what determine where we go or how quickly we get there. So it's not that we can ask for this thing, ask for our dream, and do nothing to move towards it. Or to me, this is saying like we have to make some choices to maybe go down different paths than maybe we've previously chosen. So I think it's a time to really ask yourself, are the choices I'm making, the little everyday choices, are they reflecting the future reality I'm looking for? Am I actually taking steps towards the things that I want? Or am I asking for a different reality without really doing anything to create it? So this is something to think about. Thinking about our choices, and sometimes I think we make choices from a very reactive, wounded, emotional place. And these other cards that I pulled to clarify, I got attachment in the reverse, and I got the heart chakra, which is Archangel Raphael. So that with those other two cards is saying to me that if you're making choices from an overly reactive place, or you're making choices based on past hurts instead of maybe detaching a little bit and seeing what your current reality is, I would take a look at that. You know, sometimes we make choices assuming that we know the outcome based on past patterning, when if we take a closer look, we might realize that we can shift our reality. So I hope that makes sense. Releasing attachment isn't about not having a feeling about what's going on or being cold. It's about trying to step back and step into your highest truth and your highest self before you move forward and make a choice. Because if we're reacting from our inner child or some kind of pain or past hurt, we're going to probably make choices that keep recreating that wound. Whereas if we can detach and step back and look a little bit more objectively at our choices and our reality, then we can start to make different choices, and different choices that are heart-centered, that are from a healed place. And Archangel Raphael is the one that really comes in and helps us with that. This is about heart healing. So, and it's funny because the overall messages are very heart-based. Cups, the Grail, like that energy is very heart-based. So I think this new moon is asking us to drop into our heart, but our highest heart, right? Not the heart that's been hurt, not the heart that has, you know, emotional reactivity, but the place in us that is really that unconditional highest love place. I think if we can start to shift further into that loving part of who we are when we're making choices to move forward, that will help us in a lot of areas. And it's funny because I am seeing that in the other cards for the other sections of the reading, so that's interesting. I'm going to talk about the career one because it kind of riffs off of what I was just saying. So the first card I pulled for that is this Ace of Skulls. So that's like the Ace of Pentacles in the traditional tarot. What this means is like, and that's actually a really great card to get in the career section. How can we better balance out our career? Well, it seems like a new opportunity in our career or in our work is coming in. This can be maybe unexpected money. It can be unexpected help in your business life. Some kind of new spark that will help move forward your career goals. So how you can get greater balance, I think, is to take this opportunity when it comes, even if it's something that you didn't anticipate or is unexpected. Being able to roll with the punches and actually, you know, I think the universe, God, whatever resonates for you, we're always being given new opportunities and we're always being supported, but we have to be aware enough and also brave enough to take the opportunities when they come. So if something is coming into your sphere that seems new, I would take a look at it and maybe jump on that. I also pulled the Nine of Grails with the Star. So the Star is about wishes fulfilled. It's about healing. And Nine of Grails is about personal, emotional fulfillment and empowerment. Which, funny, usually in the tarot, the Nine of Cups is only one figure. There's only one person in the card. In this deck, there's two people. And it's like they're having a little bit of a romantic experience there. This in the career section, though, to me is saying that when you are tapping into your heart, when you're tapping into your dreams and wishes, it's almost like asking us to be less in the practical mind and more in our emotions and what makes us feel fulfilled and what feels right to us. So that could be a gut response, that could be a heart response. But making choices in your career and in your business life that reflect your values, that reflect your most empowered, fulfilled self. Are you waking up in the morning and doing work that sets your heart on fire? Do you feel like your work has value? And you know, that looks different for everyone. you can be doing the most mundane job and doing it from a heart-centered place and still feel fulfilled. It's not about the external circumstance. It's about what you do within that circumstance. So to me, how you balance out your career is get more into your dream space. Like, what are your dreams and what's your true vision for what you want to wake up and do every day? And are you incorporating your heart space into your work on a daily basis? The clarifier for that was the thinking woman in reverse. So again, I'm getting this message that like we've been very much in our heads, over analyzing and beating ourselves up, and in that space of like analysis paralysis, like overthinking every decision career-wise to the point of not really taking many steps forward in the practical world. Or maybe convincing yourself that what you truly want financially, as far as your job, in business, isn't possible. Like, you're convincing yourself of that, even though that's not actually the truth. So again, if you can tap into your heart and like the reason why you started out this journey in the first place, I think that will help balance out some of these overcrowded thoughts that are probably happening right now. Cool. And it's fun. So now I'm going to move into the relationships love life section. Funny enough, so we got the Ace of Pentacles in the career section. So that's like a new opportunity in the material world. We got the Ace of Grails in the relationships and love section. So this is funny because this is like a new offer of love. It's a new emotional start. This is like an offering in our heart space, in our love section. So funny that we got the aces in both. And aces are awesome because and with a new moon, it makes sense. That's like new energy coming in, a new spark, a chance to maybe shift some patterns that were getting stagnant. So that's really exciting. That this could mean like new communication from a possible love interest. This could be a new thought or a new exploration of an emotion that shifts things for the better. It could mean a lot of things. It could be a new person entering your life, non-romantic. That's just a great relationship about to start. So, or a deepening of your current relationship. So that's awesome. I also pulled the Lovers, which is funny. 'Cause like, obviously. So how do we balance out our love life? And you pull the Lovers, and the Lovers is all about our choices in love. Again, there's something to be looked at about how our choices create our reality in all factors of life. That was kind of the overall message here. So this too, how are your choices in love creating your reality, and in love and relationship creating your external reality? So it starts in here, and but this card I think is really beautiful. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else to say about this. I also think that the Lovers card is a card of balance between masculine and feminine. So it's about checking in with our intuitive nature, being open and receptive to the relationships in our life. But it's also about taking inspired action, and it's also about giving. So a balance between giving and receiving. It's also about and it's Libra's about balance, right? So we're thinking about in our love life or in our relationships, do we have balance in all areas? Are we receiving as much as we're giving out? Are we giving out as much as we are receiving? Are we taking a step back to listen to our partner or our friends? Are we also speaking out and being heard by our partner and our friends? So looking at the places and areas in your relationships where maybe things feel out of balance and trying to shift some of that, that's what this is saying to me. But I mean, let's get just real traditional. For those of you out there that this resonates for too, it could be a new offer of love. could be a new person coming into your life. Could also just be a current partner being more open emotionally. So that's cool. Like if you're looking for a love reading, that's a really good sign. The clarifiers I got for that are sadness and isolation in reversed. So I think this summer was very much a time for our own introspection. I'm seeing that on a collective scale. Like that was for me personally, but also a lot of people I know. There was this sense of going back, a lot of grieving happening, a lot of analyzing old family patterns, a lot of thinking about maybe the ways people haven't shown up for us the way we wish. So there was a lot of sadness going on this summer, and this feeling the need to withdraw a bit in order to work that out. Oh, sorry, something fell. In order to work out our stuff in ourselves before we can then move out in the world in a different way. So this, to me, in reverse, is saying that that's lifting. So this might be a time of greater connection and time to reach back out to your tribe if you've been kind of pulling inward. I also pulled the solar plexus chakra, and this is really important. This is about self-esteem, empowerment. It's our power center. So this is like where we feel able to create the life we want. This is where we recognize our gifts and move forward and create this. If our solar plexus is blocked or having issues, could cause some digestive problems if you're having issues in this area. So solar plexus is about, like, you know, they say you got to love yourself before you can love someone else. And that's like an adage that's very oversimplified. But what I'm going to say about that is the more that we can love who we are and celebrate ourselves, the more we are also able to offer that to other people in our lives. So if there's any type of energy of putting yourself down or not really believing in yourself, I would take a look at that and try to clear some of that, because empowered people empower other people. And our relationships just grow and deepen the more we're able to meet ourselves with compassion and grace. So I definitely want to say that. Sorry, I'm needing to take a drink. Okay. I also pulled the Five of Pentacles, which is this beautiful card of this girl like dropping coins in a wishing well. And I also see this like sliver of moon. So with the new moon, that's interesting that we got that. So this new moon might be a great time to make some wishes. So write down what you're hoping to invite into your life in this next cycle, in any area of your life. What needs some more balance, or what would you like more of? And kind of be brave enough to state it clearly and ask for it and wish it into being, because there's a lot that's available to us, but we have to actually ask for it, and we have to actually believe that we deserve our dreams. And if no one's told you lately, you deserve your dreams. You deserve to be able to move through the world as your fullest self. And so this is a good time to think about that. What does your dream life look like? And actually like drop those coins in the well and ask for it. We've got the Knave of Swords as well. So this is like the Knight of Swords in the traditional tarot. Knight of Swords like rushes in with some kind of truth. He is very honest. He's maybe a little impulsive, but that's okay. You know, that can be okay. And the Knight of Swords can also mean some kind of unexpected or new communication. So time to speak the truth, time to cut the crap in your relationships. I think it's always time for that. But it could be that somebody who's been previously closed off or was in this place of like kind of isolating to figure things out might be ready to communicate something with you soon. Or maybe there's something that you need to communicate to somebody in your relationships of any kind. So think about that. If there's something that's been on your mind or that you haven't communicated that you want to, I would go for that right now. And the last little message that I pulled, just to wrap up, I got love in spite of it all. And that's really beautiful, because sometimes things are difficult, and sometimes new beginnings or new starts are scary. And, you know, new moons are like new beginnings or new starts often. So love in spite of it all. And to me, this means, you know, here's what it says on the back. Before this odyssey ever began, there was you, your best friends, and wide-eyed curiosity among you about who would be the first to leap, the first to forget, the first to kiss, the first to tell, the first to fall, the first to get back up, and the first to remember that it all began with a dare to love in spite of it all. Yeah, so this is about love is brave. And I think a lot of people think it's this soft, gentle, like magical thing. And it is. But love is also courageous. It's also strong, and it's standing your ground sometimes when that's hard. Love is about being able to see other people in their vulnerability, weakness, and imperfection, and able to love them through that anyway. And anything that you are doing outside of yourself, I think you also need to give you. So can you love yourself in spite of every piece of you that maybe tells yourself you're not worthy of it? If you can do that, I think that's the highest call, to love in spite of it all. In spite of all the ways the world tells us that love is silly, or love isn't real, or it can't last, or we're not worthy of it, or people leave us, or whatever the story is that isn't the truth. Can you love in spite of it? Can you be brave and do that anyway? Like, even when it's scary, or even when you're tired. Yeah, so that was a little bit of my soapbox on love, but this coming out of that deck, I think, is relevant for this period. So, wrap up, I just feel like the main call right now is to go into your heart space a little more, start moving through the world from more of your soul pull and your heart, rather than overthinking everything, and take these new opportunities that are coming in with this new moon. Look at what you can balance out in your life if you've been giving too much energy and feeling depleted in one area. Let's just take it one day at a time. You're supported always. You're loved. You're never alone. And I just wish all the best for you. And I'll see you next time.